Hey guys, welcome to the last section of our Create Mode Basics. Woo! And we're here to talk about one of the most important Create Mode items, our Tools Bag menu. So let's head on over to Create Mode and check it out. Okay, our final pop-it item here at the very bottom is this bag that looks like our goodies bag with some moving gears on it is our tools bag. And inside here is a whole world of items that we can choose from and use to make creative levels. So we'll definitely get into a lot of these things as we go on, but this is just kind of an overview of this entire menu here. The first one talk about is the fact that there's two versions of the tools bag menu. There is the basic mode and the advanced. And this is the, it's got a few things in it, but I've done kind of a one screenshot comparison of this first tools menu here, where it says tools. It's got objects and stickers and decorations and hazards. So if we go, and I created these in my objects, so let's see, we've got it right here, so I will just pop this up there and I will float on up and we can see the difference. So this first menu is what's available in your basic create mode tools bag. So if you open up your tools bag and it just looks like this is just because you've got the standard tools menu. It usually asks you right when you first start if you want to use this or not, or if you want to go right into the advanced mode. And if you see this where you've got like these adventuring details on here and the dynamic thermometer, that's the advanced mode. So I'll show you how we can get there. If you push your options button, you get into your basic pause menu, change to play mode, everything else. But if you scroll down all the way to settings here, whether you're online or not, you'll have this settings lit up. So you can just push the X button. And then if you come down here to profile, if you see this profile here, you can collapse it just like that if it's not already expanded, or if it's not expanded, you can just push the X button. And then you get four options here. So you can see I've got advanced create mode checked, so all those extra items are going to appear in my tools bag. If that's unchecked, they will not appear, so you can always adjust that right here. So we will just hit the O button and back our way right out of there, and so that is that. So let's get into the menu itself. So on this page we've got, or on this menu we've got 5 pages. And it's easy to get lost in here because there's just so many things going on. This first page, a lot of these items here are the same items that you're going to find here in your personal, up in these functions up here. So this is kind of a quicker way to get in there. But if you're already in your tools bag, you can always pop in and use these same tools over here. So then we've got our cameras, and then our adventuring and thermometer items, and we'll get into a lot of those as we go on. Page 2, as we go over, is our gadgets. So there's a lot of cool things in here. Sensors, which is just basically it's looking for things, like if a player's here or if there's water involved, it knows it and it will send out a signal telling something else to do something because of that. Our logic here is a very important part of the game as we move forwards. We'll get into the features of all these different little interesting AND gates, XOR gates. They're kind of confusing. You probably won't have to use them right away, but you know, if you take them one by one and then you just start building on top of that, it'll be pretty easy after a while. We've got our large logic containers, which is where you put all these logic pieces. You put them in on a microchip. The broadcast microchip is something new for LBP3. You've got a sequencer, which is used for a lot of things, and a controlinator, which means your player then can control things in a different way than it normally does. So, and then we've got our rotators and emitters. And an emitter is something cool. I use that at the very beginning where my character drops down in front of the Casper LBP3, and that basically just shoots out a bot that looks like me and that does a couple things, and so I use an emitter for that sometimes. Sometimes I'll just have the bot there. We've got object tweakers and we've got world tweakers, so these are some things that we'll get into. Let's move to the next page, which is gameplay. So here's all of your bolts and motor bolts and strings and springs and all kinds of things to connect all of your materials together as you build them. And then here you've got different ways of moving a SAC person around in a level, and different kinds of switches and different kinds of entrances and exits to your levels, points and prize bubbles, things like that, different dangerous items that you can put down in a level that people have to be careful of, projectiles that shoot out at people, and start and end gates for races and level keys, and then a lot of lights. So I've got a lot of lights here. You might not have this many, but this is just probably a lot of the lights that you can collect through the various levels. And DLC, which is downloadable content. Our fourth page is creatures and characters. So a lot of these have to do with the actual players that come into the level to play. So you've got all the different power-ups that they can use. You've got special power-ups. Here's the SAC bots that I was talking about. These actually tweak the specific creatures that are in your levels. These can tweak actual SAC bots or like player animations, or this is a pretty cool one, decoration mounts. So, and then simple character critter doodads, which were in most of these were in the older Little Big Planet. So there's a lot of these cool things. We'll get into these in more detail in future videos. Our fifth page here is all about music. So you can put a sound object down, or you can actually have like a cool little dance track come up, or any number of songs. And you've got interactive music, which if you put down an interactive music, let's actually do here. I'm just going to put down a quick square. There we go. And so let's pick out a good music here. Let's say Newton's theme. Let's see if this has got some good. So we put it down, and some of these you can tell because they've got like these little, if you expand them out, you can see those little sliders next to Newton's picture there. That just means that there's more options for controlling the music in your level. So you can see here, this one's got a lot. So you've got the toys and brass, and this one doesn't say what it is, ghostly shadows. So a lot of these things are in the music, so you can turn them up or you can turn them down, just to kind of customize your music track a little bit. So, and you can always adjust the starting points, and we'll get into music and sounds a lot more later on. You've got our cinematic music, and then we've also got sequence music. So this is kind of cool to take a look at too. I'm going to put down one of these sequencers, and this one, if I increase the size, you can see with that little dancing light on the side there that this is a sequencer, which we saw sequencers in a previous menu. But music sequencer is a little different, so let's click the square button and check that out. And so now, if I were to find the circuit board and say, yes, show me the circuit board, now you can really see what's going on here. And this is an insane amount of detail that somebody's put into this specific piece of music. So you can make these yourself. You can basically just sequence your own music and just start laying down tracks and using the various instruments that come with the game. And so that's a very cool detail that we can get into way more in depth later on. And here's a lot of the instruments that you can use on your sequencer as well. So, you know, these are things, a lot of these will show up in here, but a lot of these you have to find in various levels too. So that's it for the music page, which is actually it for our tools bag menu item. So hopefully this has been informative, and watch for more videos so that we can check out some of the actual tools in the tools bag and we can start using them and start building some cool stuff. So if you liked the video, hit the like button, subscribe if you want to see some more, and otherwise I will see you on the flip side. Bye.